All right, the assignment did post. We are going to start with social studies today, so we're switching it up a little bit. We have that kickball tournament today, so we're going to do social studies from now until 8:45. You guys have arts from 8:45 to 9:15, and then we'll do math pretty much immediately after that, 9:15 to 10. And then those of you that are online after that, your day is over. We aren't doing ELA today, so after 10 o'clock, those of you online are done for the week. We will see. Oh boy, I thought my grades were done.
I know. These two 4 o'clock. Turn them in.
All right. I guess I need to email Bray again and say. Okay. Wait, I have a quick question. Hold tight. I got a second interview with that school.
Yes.
They wanted it on Monday. Is it possible to get coverage at some point?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
You just let us know.
Okay.
And we'll do coverage for you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. Where are we going? Social studies. So after 10 o'clock, those of you online will be good to go. And we have stuff to do after that at school that won't be online. So that will be that. But let's go do a little bit of social studies. So it should be posted. It is called Explorers. So we're going to talk about the people that came from like England and Spain and places in Europe that came across the ocean and started to explore different areas of the world. So let's open up the Google Slides. No. There's 10 explorers. So, but we're not going to do all of it. So go ahead and get this. If you let me finish, I will let you know. So, open up the Google Slides, get that zoomed in as you need to. 50 is okay. And then go ahead and open up the PDF as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by reading. We're going to go one page at a time, and we'll just see how far we get. But what we do is we'll read this little page about Christopher Columbus. We'll go over to the Google slide, and we'll figure out which one he is on here, right? There'll be little clues that say, like, I was this and this, and we write down who matches the description of that person, okay? I don't believe so, because our first one is about Columbus, but number 1 on here says they discovered what Columbus stumbled upon, so if they wouldn't use his name in it, right? So let's just start by reading the one about Christopher Columbus. We'll figure out which one it matches to, and we'll go from there. So, Christopher Columbus. He was an Italian explorer who sailed for the Spanish crown. As a teenager, Columbus sailed on many merchant ships where he learned the basics of navigation. Once a grown man, Christopher Columbus dreamed of using his sailing skills to find the highly coveted water route to Asia. For years, explorers have sought to find a quicker way to reach the vast spice market of India. Let's see. Turn off your microphone.
Hi.
Thank you. However, Columbus's view of reaching the Far East was different from all the other explorers at the time. Columbus believed that he could sail west instead of east to find the water route to Asia. So we talked about that yesterday. He thought that if he sailed across the ocean, he would run into Asia eventually, but what did he run into instead? North America. Good. But he didn't know that yet. North America hadn't been discovered. So, after convincing King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain to finance his journey, Columbus set sail west for India. In October of 1492, Columbus landed on an island of what he believed was an extension of India. He called the people Indians and proclaimed himself the royal governor. Columbus returned 3 more times to explore the islands, but Columbus never realized that he had discovered an entirely new continent. Just 20 years later, the Italian explorer Amerigo Vespucci proved that the land was not India, but in fact, a new world. So he sails across this ocean and he's like, yo, I'm on India. He is not on India. He was on North America. He just didn't know that. So let's go ahead and head over to the thing and figure out which one he is. So read through it, and so the first one, well, okay, read through them and figure out which number matches Columbus. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. See if you can figure out which one matches up to what Columbus did. I'll give you a hint though. It's in the top row. It's either 1, 4, or 8. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have you guys fill it out. So we're not gonna. Yeah.
So what do we do?
So we just read that stuff about Columbus. Number 1 has a description of a person. Number 4 has a description of a person, and number 8 has a description of a person. You have to figure out which one matches Columbus.
So what do you put at the blue box?
You put the name Christopher Columbus because that's who it is.
Wait, so they're not all about Columbus? Okay.
They're not all about Columbus. There are 10 different explorers we're going to talk about. We got to match the explorer to the description of what they did.
I don't think we're on the water system.
Okay, so either number 1, 4, or 8 should be Christopher Columbus. So, and I already gave you the hint that 1 is not Columbus. So now you know it's 4 or 8. Okay.
Oh my goodness, Mommy, no.
So, ready for our next one? Yeah, ready? All right. Let's read the next one. This one is about Vasco da Gama. No, good, you're done. Except for this pile that I now have to grade them, apparently. Yeah. So, Vasco da Gama was born in 1460. Vasco da Gama was a Portuguese explorer who discovered an ocean route from Portugal to the Far East. The route took travelers around the African continent around the Cape of Good Hope to reach India and China at a much faster pace than on foot. Most people doubted da Gama's discovery because they did not believe the Indian Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean were connected. So let's go over to the thing and figure out which one da Gama is. Let's see. Your hint on this one is that it's the middle row. It's either 2, 5, or 9. Okay, so write down da Gama's name on the one that matches him. Either 2, 5, or 9.
What's the name again?
Vasco da Gama.
How high is 5'2"?
It's about Darwin's height, I think.
No, he's 5'4".
Oh, a little bit taller than Darwin.
I'm almost 5'4". He's one number off.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do is kind of like one of the at the end of
I don't know. We'll see.
It's way cheaper for sure. The cotton patty. You can use the menu that you told me.
Okay, let's read the next one. Number 3 is about Ferdinand Magellan. So Ferdinand Magellan was a Portuguese explorer who led the first expedition that sailed completely around the Earth. The journey started in 1519 and ended in 1522. Magellan is also credited for naming the Pacific Ocean. The prefix "pac" means calm and peaceful. Magellan was amazed by the calmness of this ocean compared to the Atlantic Ocean. Early in his career, Magellan sailed to India and to the Far East many times. Magellan used the route made popular by Vasco da Gama to reach India, around Africa's Cape of Good Hope. As a young man, Magellan sailed for his native Portugal. However, Magellan was accused of illegally trading with the Moors of Morocco, and Portuguese King Manuel II turned against him. After this incident, Magellan moved to Seville and sailed for Spain. While Magellan is often remembered for being the first person to circumnavigate the globe, which means to travel around it completely, most people do not realize that he did not actually make it. Magellan was killed in the Philippines by native tribes before he made it back to Spain. It was the remainder of Magellan's crew that should hold the honor. So he didn't even get to make it all the way around the world. He died in the process, which is sad. So our next one, let's see. This one will be it's either 3, 6, 10, or 7. 3, 6, 10, or 7. His name is Ferdinand Magellan. 3, 6, 10, or 7, right?
No.
Yeah.
I was killed by natives in the Philippines. Has an exclamation point. What's his name? I don't know.
Ferdinand Magellan.
Ferdy Turdy? I don't give me Turdy, man. Sorry. Is he on a minors team? Yeah, he's on a minors team. Ferdinand Magellan. No, senior's better. No, senior, junior. Yeah, senior, junior. Wait, you should go. Nah, I'm gonna sound right. What? Doesn't sound right. This girl is goofy. Look at how close his eyes are. Never seen it again. Look at how close his eyes are. What? Look at how close his eyes are together. Oh, look at how little what? What's very 18. Yeah, you also have a broken nose.
All right, ready for our next one? Okay, next one, Henry the Navigator. Prince Henry the Navigator was a Portuguese explorer, soldier, and prince. Although Prince Henry rarely participated in explorations, it was because of Henry that Portugal played such an influential role in the age of exploration. First, Prince Henry personally financed many expeditions for Portugal to learn more about the outside world. These expeditions succeeded in mapping much of Africa's western coast. Second, Henry greatly impacted Portugal in the age of exploration through his navigation schools. In 1419, Prince Henry started the first school of navigation in Sagres, Portugal. The school's mission was to train people to become expert navigators. Students learned how to read the night sky for directions and to create accurate maps for their life on the seas. So let's match this guy. This is Henry the Navigator.
He's like Flight of the Navigator. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
He goes into the future.
That's cool.
And then he Why is it never?
This one I believe is either 3, 6, or 10.
Yeah, I can use it. I can use the technique to find my way around. Because this morning I couldn't find my way around. Oh, this one. And how do you spell his name?
He is Henry the Navigator.
Actually, we use this concept junior or junior. I put Henry Navigator senior junior. Then he's a third of the junior. Then he's a third senior too. He's a senior. Not a freshman? Nope. He's senior, 50 years old. No. I wonder how he died. Probably that way his hair was. He probably lasted about like 5 years. What if you could count someone's face by how many wrinkles they have? What if you could count someone's face by how many wrinkles they have? How many? That might be a lot. You just give yourself a double question. Double question.
Okay, are you ready for the next one? All right. Number 5. Stop talking.
Okay.
Ponce de Leon. Ponce de Leon was a Spanish explorer who, in 1493, sailed with Christopher Columbus on his second expedition to the Americas. Eventually, Ponce de Leon led his own expedition. Leon's first expedition took place just after Columbus's death in 1506. Like most Spanish explorers, he wanted to find the vast amounts of gold that was believed to exist in the New World. On his first journey, Leon explored a Caribbean island named Borinquin. Anyway, here he found large deposits of gold. When Leon showed King Ferdinand of Spain the gold he discovered, the king sent him back for more. In 1511, Ponce de Leon set out on a second voyage. This time, however, he landed in Cuba. While in Cuba, Leon became mesmerized with native stories of a magical fountain of youth. The natives told Leon that water from the fountain could cure all illnesses and keep a person young forever. In his adventures to find the fountain, Leon discovered the peninsula of Florida and led the Spanish to eventually establish a fort in St. Augustine. So he definitely tried to find the fountain of youth. Do you think the fountain of youth is real?
No.
Probably not.
Either 1 or 4.
It is 1, 4, or 8.
So we have to.
Yeah, did we?
I'm not.
1, 4, or 8 are your choices.
Can you go back to the
Yes. Ponce de Leon.
J. Leon. His name is Ponce de Leon. How do you make it like that, John? How do you put the Leon? Leon. This says there's an O and there's a C.
All right. Ready for our next one? Okay. Next one is Francisco Pizarro. Born in 1478, Francisco Pizarro was a Spanish explorer who traveled through much of the north. Whoa. Why does it always do this to me? Who traveled through much of the northwestern coast of South America in what is now modern-day Peru. Pizarro is best known for his disturbing encounter with the Incan Empire. The Incas were ancient people that settled in Peru. Upon discovering the empire, Pizarro quickly set out to conquer Inca. He befriended their leader, Atahualpa, only to later ambush him and steal the empire's massive hoards of gold and silver. After looting and destroying the Incan capital of Cusco, Pizarro founded the Ciudad de los Reyes, which means City of the Kings. This city was later renamed Lima and is today the capital of Peru. Pizarro administered his empire from the city until his assassination in 1541. Charlie? You might have. That's sad. I can't believe it. All right, so this time, this dude founded Peru and tried to take over the Incan Empire. Francisco Pizarro. Your choices are, let's see.
And name. He has a girl.
I believe that it is either
It's
2,
5 or 9.
Yeah, 2, 5, or 9. Those are your options for this one. 2, 5, or 9 for this explorer. His name is Francisco Pizarro. Okay, Francisco Pizarro. Take about 30 more seconds to fill it in which description he matches, and then we will move on.
So it's like, I don't even know if I should kick.
Oh my gosh. No, that's okay. You can kick it in, child.
They deserve it. They were spying on you guys.
All right, next one. 2, 5, or 9, I believe.
It'll be hilarious.
Oh, that's a nice new hat, Skylar. But you gotta take it off in school, sorry. Oh yeah, if you want to go grab your Mask Up award, Skylar, you can. Okay. I don't know. We gotta keep going. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Henry Hudson is our next one. Born in the 1560s, Henry Hudson was an English explorer who, like other explorers, sought cheaper and more efficient ways to reach the Far East. In 1607, Hudson was hired by the English Muscovy Company to discover a northeastern sea passage that led to the Spice Islands of India and China. Hudson reached the eastern coast of Greenland on his first voyage, but could not advance and was forced to turn around due to ice blocking his path. A second voyage by Hudson was also unsuccessful. This led to the English Muscovy Company dismissing him or firing him. However, Hudson was hired by the Dutch East India Company in 1609 because they still had faith in the northeastern route. Once he departed Holland, Hudson decided to ignore the Dutch East India Company's instructions and sailed the other direction across the Atlantic Ocean to North America. He hoped to find a northwest passage to the Far East. He discovered 3 major waterways and named them all after himself: the Hudson River, Hudson Bay, and Hudson Strait. He failed to find the northwest passage to Asia. On his final voyage, Hudson's crew grew tired of his orders and left Hudson and his son to fend for himself on a small boat. He was never heard from again. Wow, that ending was dark. They just straight up left him on a boat. I know. So Henry Hudson did not follow orders very well and ended up. Oh my god.
Well, you can have fish every night for dinner.
My mouse is freaking out. Hang on.
Yeah, but how would you cook it? You use the bowl as firewood. See, that's what happens to firewood.
Okay, this one is going to be
3, 6, or 10.
yeah 3, 6, or 10, guys, is your option for this one for Henry Hudson.
When I hear Hudson or something like that, it reminds me of a car.
There you go, Henry Hudson.
There's
3, 6, or 10.
in one row.
All right, ready for our next one?
Yeah.
Okay, let's read about John Cabot. Born in Italy in 1450, John Cabot was an Italian explorer who became fascinated with exploration at a very young age. Like many other Italian explorers, including Christopher Columbus, Cabot was employed by a different country. In this case, it was England. Looking for land to expand their empire, and anxious to explore the land just discovered by Christopher Columbus, King Henry VII of England sent Cabot on his first expedition in 1497. Cabot spent many journeys trying to find a northwest passage around the huge landmass that Columbus stumbled upon, which, if you think about it, North and South America is a huge thing that's just stuck together, right? So you can't get really past it, especially in this time period, because the Panama Canal is the only way to get through in current times. That little tiny strip that's in between North and South America, called Central America, right? There's a country called Panama. In the middle of Panama, there's something called the Panama Canal. It took them a really long time to build this canal, but it's a system of like dams, kind of, where they fill up one dam and then it brings the boat higher and it puts them onto the next part of the sea. And then sometimes they will, so basically is like an elevator for boats to cross to different oceans.
What are you looking at?
Miss Lowry, I think, is looking for it up there. You can climb on the table if you want to. It's a pretty sturdy table.
It's a stone table. It'll break.
But that nowadays, the Panama Canal, unless you want to go all the way around, unless you want to go all the way around South America at the bottom, you want to just cut through the Panama Canal. But back then, the Panama Canal was not a thing, so they had to go all the way around. So this dude was trying to find a way to get around North and South America, but that is probably very hard because it's huge. It's huge. So,
So back then, this is how it happened. It's just like a little stand right there, like.
this is in the way.
Yeah.
Cabot spent many journeys trying to find a northwest passage around the huge landmass that Columbus discovered. In his explorations, Cabot reached and explored Newfoundland, Canada, in the late 15th century. Cabot called it Newfound Land, which is why it's called Newfoundland. This discovery allowed England to claim what is now Canada. However, Cabot's desire to find the route to Asia would ultimately be his destruction. On his last voyage in 1501, Cabot and his men were lost at sea and never seen again. So this is John Cabot, and he is either 3, 6, or 10 is your answers there. John Cabot, 3, 6, or 10.
John Cabot. Wait, Charlie, what was in it that was good?
Alright, 3, 6, or 10. John Cabot.
So when you go get your thing, so Charlie,
All right. Next one. Okay, we have 2 more left. Let's finish this up, please. So, the next one is Hernan Cortez. Born in Spain in 1485, Hernan Cortez first served as a soldier in the Spanish army. After helping seize Cuba in 1511, Cortez became hungry for conquest of his own. In 1519, he ignored orders from his generals and traveled to Mexico with hopes of seizing the mighty Aztec Empire. Cortez felt confident that his 500 men and 11 ships could easily conquer the Aztecs, but the tribe actually drove the Spanish away from their capital, Tenochtitlan. I can't say that word. In 1521, Cortez returned to defeat the Aztecs. He allied himself with some of the native people who opposed their local leadership. Eventually, Cortez was able to wear down the Aztec warriors, and with brute force, he took over for their leader. He took their leader Montezuma hostage. Before dying in 1547, Cortez spent many years receiving praise and admiration for his work in Mexico from King Charles I. So basically, he sailed across the ocean and again took over the land of native people because, you know, that's what the Europeans liked to do because they were buttheads. So this one will be 2, 5, or 9. 2, 5, or 9 is.
We don't even have to read the next one.
Well, we're still gonna read it. 2, 5, or 9 is your answer. Is one of your answers, and it's Hernan Cortez.
Oh, we're writing about a dinner party. A dad party?
A dinner party.
No.
A dad party.
That's what he said.
I mean, I feel like a dad party would just be a bunch of dads grilling in like flip flops and shorts, and
I can see that.
what they're standing by the grill just doing this. So yeah, my car needs a little bit of like that's what I assume.
Described by dad.
Because that's my dad. Okay, let's go ahead and keep going. So yeah. All right, last one. Walker. What is his name? Jacques. It's Jacques, not Joaquez. It's Jacques. Jacques Cartier. So born in 1491, Jacques Cartier was one of the few French explorers who participated in the Age of Exploration. Cartier made his life goal to find the Northwest Passage, or a route through North America that led to the Pacific Ocean. This was the same passage that plagued the adventures of John Cabot and Henry Hudson. So these two guys were trying to find the Northwest Passage too, but they could not. As a young man, King Francis I of France hired Cartier to explore the Americas, particularly in Brazil. Cartier impressed the king and in 1534 was hired to search for a water passage to Asia that went through the Americas. In his first voyage, Cartier explored Newfoundland, already discovered by John Cabot, and discovered Prince Edward Island. Cartier's work impressed King Francis, and his second voyage began the next year in 1535. On this expedition, he discovered a large river further west of Newfoundland. This was the mighty St. Lawrence River. Cartier believed that this was the route that he was looking for, but he was wrong. On his third and final trip, Cartier and his men established a fort near Quebec, a feat that established France's presence in North America. And if you are unfamiliar with Quebec and Canada, because the French established like colonies in Canada, a lot of Quebec and that side of Canada speak French. Their main language is French. And English is a lot of their second language in Quebec in that area. Because I'm going to let you know right now that most countries around the world learn their language first, but they are immediately taught English because the United States, like, I would not say that it's the best country in the world, but I would say that people feel like they have to know English because America just puts themselves in all the different countries for no reason. So, yeah.
Then what's the best country in the world? What does that mean?
I don't know, but I'm not the biggest fan of the United States lately, so. Well, there's been maybe like 4 years that really turned this country south. So fill out the last one. It should be, what's the last one left? Number 1? That works, yeah.
1, 4, or 8.
Yeah. All right, let me give you the last bit of instructions here on slide number 2. There we go. It says you are hosting a dinner party where you get to invite 5 explorers. Once you know the 5 men you want to invite, fill out the list on the right. So write those 5 names here. Then create a script below that shows the conversation that took place at the dinner party. The script needs to show at least one major detail and one major accomplishment from each explorer's life. So basically, they're sitting around a table and discussing their overconfidence, and they have huge egos. So what would these 5 people be talking about? What are their greatest accomplishments? So choose 5. It doesn't matter which 5. We talked about 10 explorers. Choose 5. Just the last name works too. So you need to choose 5 explorers and write them to the side over here. And then do like a short little dinner conversation where they're just boasting and being, they're just bragging about their accomplishments. Yeah. So complete sentences, and I would assume that maybe it's about 2 or 3 paragraphs just so that you can get everybody's like greatest accomplishments in there. But you guys have about 4 minutes right now until we need to head to art. Dallin, you're distracting everybody. Stop it. So we got about 5 minutes until we need to head upstairs to art. So do what you can in 5 minutes, and then you can continue it after we finish up what you need to do for math today. Okay? So go ahead and be working on that. All right, I'm going to stop our recording.